Hi, my name is Kianna, and I love to read. Now, with that being said, I have not finished a book in about 5 months, and it's getting to the point where I'm like, am I the problem? I have to ask myself these kind of questions. I start a book every single week, and every single week I do not finish a book. You want to see all the books I've started and haven't finished? Let's run through them. Number 1, If I Had Your Face, Frances Cha. I went out of my way to buy this book. Actually, I got it ordered from the bookstore, from the local bookstore. You want to see how far I made it in? That far. This one, even worse. One of the first books I ever purchased. Still haven't finished it. I think it's been about 3 years. Granted, short stories are a bit difficult for me. I'll read about one and then I'm like, okay, that's enough for me. I'm more of a novel kind of girl, fiction kind of girl. So, I give myself some leeway on this one. It does match my hair though. Next up, I'm a fan, Sheena Patel. Again, I'm going to give myself some grace on this one because she's so obsessed with a man who actually, he hates her. So that is like level 10 difficulty to read. The next book is literally the book in my book club. What's my excuse? What is my excuse now? Granted, sometimes we pick books together in my book club, and this one we picked together. I personally wanted to read Like Water for Chocolate, but I'm down to read this as well. I think because it's so poetic, it's just not going to be the book to get me out of my reading slump. Why am I in a reading slump, you ask? I think it's because I read too many books, and too many books for me really isn't that many. I read about 50 to 40 books a year, but then when I really think about it, that is almost a book a week, and that's a lot of information. Too much of a good thing can be bad. Anyways, Call Me by Your Name. I could tell I was gonna love it just because there's a lot of yearning going on and I was only like 10 pages in. But alas, I did not finish it. And last but not least, and probably the saddest out of all of them, Circe. This one saddens me because Madeline Miller wrote one of my favorite books, The Song of Achilles. And the second I opened this book, I loved the writing, I loved where the story was going, and yet I've not picked it up since. And this is one beautiful pile of books, but none of these are gonna get me out of my reading slump. I can just feel it. But you know what might get me out of my reading slump? This baby. This is YA fiction. I think it's like a magical realism kind of thing. I think there's some magic in here. And I'm on page 69, which is very promising because it's only been about 2 days. I've been reading this book on the train. I read it to this Colombian boy that I know. We used to read books to each other.
Ok, bueno, básicamente sus padres viven en Egipto y ella vive en Argentina y ella quiere visitar a sus padres. Está esperando una carta que dice, ven, amiga. Pero al principio del libro recibe una carta que dice, sus padres han muerto. Así que ella va a Egipto, lo cual era súper extraño en esa época porque ella es de clase alta para encontrar a sus padres porque siente que no están muertos. Ya lo que estoy leyendo es cuando ella se encuentra con su tío.
There's already kind of an enemies to lovers thing going on because he was telling her what to do. She's stubborn, she's a strong-willed woman, and that is always the best tension. I'm gonna do a little reading for you just so you can get an idea of what this man is giving. He was already halfway down the long corridor. "Oh, and Mr. Hayes," I called out. He elegantly swung around and without checking his stride, walked backward. Imagine like he's walking down and then he turns and then he starts walking backward. Come on. "What is it?" "I'd like to know what it was that you were searching for, please. What makes you think I was looking for something?" His tone was a little too nonchalant. His easy familiarity felt a touch too practiced. His manners the mark of someone who knew just how handsome he was. He was handling me and trying not to show it. The rug was overturned, the pillows moved. So? I stayed silent, his lie hovering between us, creating a palpable tension in the air. I raised my eyebrow and waited. He made no comment, but regarded me thoughtfully. When it was clear that he wouldn't give me an answer, I let out a long, frustrated sigh. "Can you wait a moment?" I asked. "I must change." He eyed my dress in amusement. "I don't recall you waiting when I asked," he said with a grin. Then he winked at me before resuming his long-legged stride down the corridor. That was the smile I didn't trust. I just knew it came with consequences. He was the kind of person who could charm someone while robbing them blind. I really like this book. I want to finish it quickly because sometimes I feel like when you wait and you just give yourself time to finish a book, you lose momentum, you start forgetting things, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to give myself 3 days. 3 days max. Also, look at this new bag I got. I got it for $20. I found it on the internet. Come on, get into it. At first I felt like it was too good to be true, but then I mean, $20, I had to take the risk, and I did, and now it's my favorite bag. I can carry books in here. Oh, don't fall. No. We got boba after going to Barnes and Noble. This is the book we got. We got together.
I got that book too.
Because we're gonna be business
Don't
queens.
play with it.
The author who wrote this also wrote the book Writers and Lovers, and that's why I got this, because this is her most popular book. So I'm like, if Writers and Lovers is good, then I just know this is good. It's about a love triangle in the 1930s. So I'm like,
Oh, a love triangle.
sign me up. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let me treat myself. Okay, my darlings, I have an update on the book. I'm on page 106, and I like it. I think it's romantic in the sense that it's set in Egypt. It reminds me of the movie. Have you guys seen the movie The Mummy? It just is beautiful. Oh. It's a little spooky outside. Great reading weather. Everything's so grand, and I really like that aspect of it. I like the period it's set in. So Inez is the main character, and the thing is, every single time she's about to do some really cool stuff, some man is like, no, you're high class. And I'm like, please, I don't care. It's like, come on, lean into the fun. But overall, I'm having a good time. I'm interested in the story. I wanted to keep going, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's just give her time to really grip me. She hasn't gripped me yet. We'll see. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello, my darlings. I am in one of my favorite places in the world. This is Elizabeth Street Garden. This is where I had my first book club, actually. We did a book swap, like, right over there in that little corner. Yep. And I'm going to leave a petition down below to save this park because they want to take it down. I cannot begin to understand why. It's one of the most beautiful places in New York. I'm going to show you the books that I just picked up from McNally. I love that bookstore. It's so nice. I could spend so long in there. They have such a great selection. I was really enjoying myself. I have somewhere to be, so I couldn't stay for that long, but I'm going to show you what I got. First thing I picked up, this is Slow Days, Fast Company by Eve Babbitt. As you guys know, I've been trying to read Black Swans forever. It has not happened for me. I am going to try with this one because this is a novel, so I'm like, okay, you know, sometimes short stories, they're not gonna have me, but this, I feel like I believe in this. I think this one's gonna be good. And this other one, I was looking for book recs to post on my book club story, and this was one of the recs on TikTok that I saw a couple times, and I was like, you know what, is this my book genre? No. Sometimes when I read rom-coms, I question my decisions in life, but I don't know, I have faith that it will be cute. Will I regret it? I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll keep you updated on the book club TikTok. By the way, you should come to book club. You should come to book club. I'm doing one in Dallas on September 9th at 6 o'clock, so you should come. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to be there. You're going to meet so many girls who read. But the book swap that we did here, I met so many amazing girls, and I'm so grateful and thankful. Like, I'm sitting in this park. I love this park. I have so many good memories here now. It's just, I'm very thankful. When I get home, I'm going to show you guys the rest of the books that I ordered. I ordered quite a few because I have been I don't know, I stopped buying books when I moved to New York because I had other things to buy. But for my birthday, I told myself, you can buy whatever you want, Kianna. So I did indeed buy whatever I wanted. I don't buy books to cope now, so I'm a lot more pragmatic, logical about buying books, you could say. I don't just kind of grab whatever I want, but it's been so nice. I walked out of the bookstore smiling so hard because I bought books. But I'm gonna show you guys the rest of them when I get home. I'm gonna go read a bit. I'm liking the What the River Knows book. I'm liking it. I'm not loving it, but I'm liking it. So I'm gonna keep going with her and hopefully finish her tomorrow. But yeah, I will see you guys soon. Okay, bye.
Hello. You know, this is another episode of Sex and the City with Carrie, Samantha, Charlotte, and Miranda. Are you the Samantha of the group?
I don't think I'm Samantha.
Who do you think you are? That's so true.
You guys already know I have these two books. We have Slow Dates, Fast Company, The Neighbor Favor. I'm so excited to read these books, like genuinely. I'm still designing my website, but I'm thinking I can have a section where you can see my TBR, you can see all the books I've read, you can see my reviews, what I like, my ratings of the books, because I don't want to just give my Goodreads account. I feel like that's a little too personal. I talk a little bit of trash, I'm not gonna lie, and I want to keep that safe space, but I can take the reviews that I don't mind sharing and put them on my website. If you haven't seen my last videos, I'm designing my website with Squarespace. It's an all-in-one platform that you can use to make your website. It's what I'm using to make mine. And to get started, I used the Squarespace Blueprint AI feature. It made everything super easy. It's a guided design system that gives you tons of curated layouts to choose from. I don't know why I'm like, don't look. Squarespace has great SEO tools, search engine optimization, which just means if you look up Kianna Naomi Book Club, my website, it's gonna pop up. That section of my website's gonna pop up. Just what I want, because I want you to come. And if I ever want to sell any book club merch, I can do it all through Squarespace. So if you would also like to make a website, you can go to squarespace.com, or for 10% off, you can use my link to get 10% off your first website or domain. And now I shall show you the books. So, sorry, I'm just so excited. I think I'm going to show you guys one of the books that I've wanted for so long. The second I saw the inside of this book, I was like, I want it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait on it. I'm not gonna impulse buy things anymore. I'm gonna be responsible. And then August 12th rolled around and I bought it for myself because my birthday's on August 13th and I was like, I want it now. I was walking home. I saw McNally in Soho on the way home and I was like, it's time. So I got it. I ripped off the plastic and I was just so excited. And then the next day, my friend comes over for my birthday. And she gets me one. Genuinely, I just shout out Cammy. I want her to know this is one of the greatest gifts that she could have ever given me. People who pay such close attention to the things that I like, the things that I want, the things that I love. And she doesn't even live here. She lives in Ireland. And this is why I have a I love Cammy sign on my wall. It's not for nothing. It's not for nothing. It's for something. So I was gonna take the one that I bought back and keep the one that she gave me. But then I thought about it and I was like, actually, I'm not gonna do that. When I move into a bigger place, like a 2-bedroom instead of a studio, I'm gonna put this one in the living room and the one that she bought me is gonna go in my room. So yeah, do you guys wanna see the inside? Let me show you. It's all her movies. I've seen most of these movies, but I need to rewatch because I watched them when I was pretty young and I'm sure a lot of this stuff flew right over my head. If you guys watched my Lost in Japan video, it's inspired by Lost in Translation. Lost in Translation inspired Lost in Japan. Lost in Japan, it just all inspired everything, and yes, love this book, love this book, so inspirational. The next book I actually ordered off of eBay because they don't have this cover anymore. I'm gonna insert what the covers look like now because you guys have probably seen this book in stores, but my thing is, why are we fixing things that are not broken? Why are we doing that? These covers are beautiful, and I remember at the Sony camp, if you guys watched my last video again, you gotta catch up. In my last video, I got to see Asia. I don't know if you guys watch Asia Jackson. If you don't, you're missing out. So funny, so great, even better in person. And she said she read Magnolia Parks, and I have also read Magnolia Parks. And she was like, you should keep going with the series. And I wasn't gonna keep going with the series because this book is about a different set of characters, but she recommended it, and I was like, say less. Ordered. If you guys don't know what this is, everyone explains it as Gossip Girl, but in London. It's so much fun. The main character in Magnolia Parks is black. They said her skin is brown. I said I'm sold. I'm sold. Give me the book. These main characters, I think they're Italian, or one is Italian, at least. I'm not really sure what's going on, but again, follow my book club Instagram. I'll give all the updates about what I'm reading on there. The next book, I also had to buy this online because I could not find it anywhere in the stores, which is strange. I heard great things about this series and there's so many of them. So if I'm really into this, then I'll like so many books, you know, by default. That's what she looks like. Oh, I love. Look at that. This is really exciting. And if I don't like it, I'll just give it to my little brother because he loves manga. Next, I got this book called Night Circus. Now, I think I got this because of TikTok. I think it's because there's romance in this, and the way that it would talk about the romance, the TikToks, I was like, that might be a bit of me. And I just wanted to give it a chance. I see it all the time and I'm like, I think I would like to read that. So that's Night Circus. Moving on. These next books were actually gifts. They were gifts. So my friend Olivia, you guys know Olivia. Me and Olivia go way back. We used to film thrifting videos together. Those were great times, but we're still friends. And she came and stayed with me in New York and she got me this book. She literally comes home and she's like, I stopped by the bookstore and got you this book. I was like, Liv, that actually makes me want to cry. This is one of those books that I wanted, but I never bought for myself. And sometimes in the mornings, I will take this book and you just read like one chapter because the chapters are really short and you can just read one, go about your day. You don't have to read it all at the same time. The last thing I read in this book was about habits and how habits can affect your creativity. It's a very popular book. I'm sure you've heard of it, but a lot of artists have recommended this to me. It's by Rick Rubin. So if you're an artist, maybe check it out. Then I was gifted James Baldwin's books. Guys, you have Giovanni's Room, If Beale Street Can Talk, and Go Tell It on the Mountain. But yeah, I don't think Nadia's watching this, but Nadia, if you're watching this, thank you so much for these books. Last but not least, if you watched my last vlog, I was gifted this book. This is from the Miu Miu Summer Reads pop-up.
Hi there, welcome to New Summer.
Miu Miu did the coolest pop-up and invited me, and they were giving out books. I refuse to open this until I am gonna read the book. So she's gonna stay closed. But this book is called Forbidden Notebook. I know nothing about it. Absolutely nothing about it, and I want to go into it completely blind. Okay, that's my book haul. Bye! Join my book club. Okay, so British man lost me for a minute, but I think he got me back by saying he's generally annoyed. I'm like, I need to start saying generally annoyed. I'm just generally annoyed. That's such a good way to describe your feelings. What were you doing last night? He goes, that is none of your business. Anyways, we just started part 3, and this man is already opening up with a lot of sass. I think I'm gonna finish this today. There are 200 pages left, but we'll see because I want to upload this video. So if I don't finish, I'm just going to upload the video anyway.